One word substitution. Abdication. Abdication means a voluntary renouncement. Voluntary renouncement of rule by a king. Absconds. Absconds means a person who secretly runs away from the law. Accelerate to increase the speed. Adolescence. Adolescence means a stage between childhood and youth is adolescence. Agenda. List of items of business transaction at a meeting. Aggressor. One who attacks first is aggressor. Alienate. To turn friends into foe. To estrange. Alien. One who resides in a country without acquiring citizenship. One who resides in a country without acquiring citizenship. Alimony, alliance payable to a wife on judicial separation from her husband. Altruist, one who is concerned for the other. Amateur, one who does a work for pleasure and not as an occupation. Ambassador, a diplomatic representative of one country in another. Ambiguous, which cannot be interpreted clearly. Amnesty, general pardon of offences is amnesty. Anarchist, one who intends to destroy the established government, law and order, is anarchist. Animate means any living object. Anniversary, yearly return of the particular date of an event. Annual, event which happens once in a year. Anonymous, a work or book whose author is not known. Anonymous. Antidote, a medicine to cure the effects of a poison is antidote. Antonyms, words having opposite meaning is called antonyms. Appendix, a supplement added at the end of the book. Arbitrator, a person who selected by disputing parties to settle their disputes or differences. Aristocracy, a government by the nobles is aristocracy. Armory, a place where arms and ammunition are kept. Ascetic, one who abstains, especially for religious or spiritual reasons, from all forms of worldly pleasure, is ascetic. Assets, fund or property available for discharge of debt. Atheist, one who does not believe in existence of God. Auction sale, a person's sale of property conducted by the biddings. Auditor, one who makes an official examination of accounts. One who makes an official examination of accounts. Autobiography, the life story of a man, woman written by himself or herself. Autocracy, a government by one person. Autopsy, medical examination of a dead body is autopsy. Bachelorhood, the state of being unmarried is bachelorhood. Bankrupt, a person unable to pay debt is bankrupt. Bellicose, a person who is fond of fighting. Belligerent, a state involved in war. Bibliophile, a lover of books or a collector of books is bibliophile. Biennial, event which happens once in 2 years is biennial. Bigamy, दो पत्नीवाद, having two wives, two husbands at the same time as a custom. Bilingual, one who speaks two languages. Biography, life history of a person written by some other person. Blasphemy, to talk impiously about God's sacred things. Bourgeois, a member of the middle class. Brutal, a thing that can be easily broken. Bureaucracy, a government of oppressive and inflexible official. Cannibal, man who eats human flesh. Catalog, a list of books or articles. Caveat emptor, principle that the buyer alone is responsible if dissatisfied. Celibacy, the state of being unmarried. Century, a period of 100 years. Circumlocution, a roundabout expression to express in verbose manner. मतलब घुमा 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 कर बात करना. Compound, a process of compromise between two parties. Compound, a process of compromise between two parties. Connoisseur, good observer in matters of taste. Good observer in matters of taste. Contemporaries, living in the same age. Convalescence, a stage of gradual recovery of health after illness. Gradual recovery, stage जो होता है of health after illness. Cosmopolitan, one who regards all people as his countrymen. Counterclaim, a claim made by the defendant in his favor against the plaintiff. Covenant, an agreement to do or not to do a particular thing. Credible, which cannot be believed. Credulous, one who easily believes whatever is told. Is credulous. Crematory, place where dead bodies are cremated. Burnt, criminal, a person who has been convicted for the offense. Curfew, a general order for the people to remain indoors. Darsani hundi, a hundi on which payment can be made at the site. Debtor, one who is in debt to another. Declaratory suit, a suit filed for the purpose of declaration of title. Democracy, government where all the adult citizens elect their own representatives. Desertion, total repudiation of the obligations of the marriage. Detective, whose business is to locate criminals. Dictator, ruler who has absolute power to rule. Diplomat, a person engaged in diplomacy. Divorce, termination of marriage by the court. Thereafter, spouses are free to remarry. Drawn, game or war where no party wins. Dynasty, line of rulers belonging to one family. Line of rulers belonging to one family. Eatable, eatable means things which are suitable to eat. Eccentric, a person whose conduct is not normal. Edible, which is not suitable for eating. Effeminate, feminine appearance or manner. Egoist, one who always thinks about his own interest. Eligible, qualified, fit to be chosen. Embezzlement, illegal use of public fund. Emigrant, person who leaves his own country and goes to live in another. Encyclopedia, set of books containing every branch of knowledge. Envoy, one who is sent on a special project. Epicure, a person with retired tasks, especially in food and drink. Epic, long poetic account of deeds of great heroes. Epidemic, same disease among many people in limited area for a time. Epilogue, a poetry or prose recited at the end of the play. Epitaph, words inscribed on the grave. Eradicate, total removal of an evil or disease. Etymology, the subject which deals with the derivation of words. Excursion, thought traveling by the people together for pleasure. Exile, sending out of a person from his native country. Export, dispatching of goods articles to another country. Expungate, removal of objectionable part of a book. Temper, a speech given without preparation. Extradition, handing over a fugitive foreign criminal to the proper authorities of his own country when the sought to do so. Extrovert, a person interested in everything happening around him. Sociable person. Fallible, liable to make mistakes. Fanatic, a strong believer of religion. Is fanatic. Fastidious, who cannot be pleased so easily, very careful in matters of choice of sex. Fatalist, a person who believes in fate. Feminist, a supporter of women movement, women's rights. Foster child, child brought up by a person other than parents. Fratricide, killing of one sister or brother. French bath, bathing nakedly. French leave, absent without permission of leave. French leave means absent without permission of leave. Genocide, genocide means extermination of race by mass murder. Geology, the study of Earth's history. Germicide, a medicine that destroys germs. Glossary, collection of special words with meanings. Glutton, who eats too much. Gregarious, who loves company. Hawker, one who sells goods by roaming about. Herbivores, animals which live in herbs. Animals which live in herbs. Heterogeneous, means made of different kinds. Hexagon, a plane figure with six sides. Hexagon. Homicide, killing of human being. Homogeneous, same kind. Honorary, conferred as honor, unpaid, an officer for which no salary is paid. Host, one who entertains a guest. Human rights, natural rights necessary for every human being. Humanitarian, person who works for the welfare of the human being. Hygienist, person who is cautious about healthy living is hygienist. Iconoclast, one who does not believe in established institution is iconoclast. Idolatry, the worship of idols, illegal, not in accordance with the law. Illegible, who cannot be read out, unclear, illegible. Illicit, a trade or act which is prohibited by law. A trade or act which is prohibited by law. Illiterate, one who does not know how to read and write. Immigrant, a person who goes from one country to another with the intention to settle down there. Imposter, one who assumes a false character or title to deceive others. Impracticable, incapable of being practiced. Impromptu, something said or done without preparation. Inaccessible, which cannot be easily approached. Inaudible, a sound that cannot be heard. Incest, sexual intercourse between near relations is incest. Incombustible, that which cannot be burned. Incomparable, beyond any comparison. Incorrigible, incapable of being corrected. Incredible, that which is not believable. Incurable, incapable of being cured. Indictment, a written statement that accuses person of a charge. Indispensable, that without which one cannot do. Inevitable, that which must happen. Inexplicable, that which cannot be explained. Infallible, that which never fails. Infanticide, murder of an infant. Infectious, a disease communicable by air or water or through virus. Inflammable, that which easily catches fire. Inflation, the act of increasing the amount of money in circulation so that there is a price rise. Inimitable, capable of being imitated. Insecticide, medicines used to kill insects. Insolvent, a person who is unable to pay his debt. Instigate, to urge another person to do evil. उत्प्रेरण करना. Intelligible, capable of being understood. Intelligible. Interlocutory, an order used by the court before the pronouncement of the decision. Interlocutory means interim order. Interlude, interval between two events or two period of time having different nature. Introvert, a person who is confined to his own self. Invincible, that which cannot be defeated. Invisible, that which cannot be seen. Invulnerable, incapable of being wounded. Irreparable, beyond repairs. Irrevocable, a decision which cannot be changed. Jeopardy, risk of conviction and punishment. Jettison, to throw overboard a ship's cargo or tackle so as to lighten it in an emergency. Jointure, an estate settled for a wife for the period during which she survives her husband. Judgment, a formal decision made and pronounced by the court of law or tribunal. Jurisdiction, power of court to hear and decide in a case. Jurisprudence, the science or philosophy of law. Jury, a body of persons selected according to the law and sworn to give verdicts on some matter according to the evidence. Juvenile offenders, young offenders. JP, Justice of Peace. Kangaroo Court, a parody of a hearing in which elementary and generally accepted norms of justice are not observed. Kidnapping, offense of stealing and carrying away and hiding of a person of any age by force or fraud. Kill, to cause the death of another by some act or omission. Kin, having blood relation. Know-how, knowledge of how to accomplish something. Knowingly, with the knowledge of facts in question. Knowingly means with the knowledge of facts in question. Laches. Laches means negligence and unreasonable delay in the assertion of a right, claiming privilege, lacuna, missing portion, omission in a document is lacuna, landlord, the owner or holder of land leased to another, lapse, failure of legacy, larceny, theft under the Larceny Act 1960 law, the body of rules and guidelines within which society requires its judges to administer justice. Lease generally involves a grant of exclusive possession for a term at a rent. Legacy, a gift of personal property by will to legate legal in accordance with forms of law. Legislation, the making of laws by a competent authority that is parliament. Legitimacy, status of a child resulting from birth in lawful wedlock. Lessee, one to whom a lease is made. Lessor, one who makes a lease to another. Lethal, causing or designed cause death. Levy, imposition of assessment or tax. Lexicographer, person who compiles a dictionary. Libel, the publication in permanent form of a statement which tends to damage the reputation of a person. Liberty, absence of restraint. Library, the person for keeping the collection of books. License means authority to act. Grant, by competent authority. Liege, one bound by allegiance and feudal service. Lien, a right to hold and retain another's property until a claim is satisfied. Life policy, instrument by which a payment of money is assured on death. Linguist, person who is skilled in languages. Litigation, the taking of legal action by a party who is known as litigant. Lottery, a game of chance generally unlawful. Maidenhood, the state of a girl being unmarried. Maim, injure a person so that he is crippled. To injure a person so that he is crippled. Maim. Major, person above the age of 18. Malice, a wrongful act done intentionally without a just cause or excuse. Malingerer, one who falsely pretends to be suffering from sickness or disability. Mandate, a direction from a superior to inferior court. Manuscript, a handwritten copy, is manuscript. Marriage, the voluntary union for life of a man and the woman to the exclusion of all others. Martial law, rule by military during an emergency when the civil authority cannot function. Martyr, one who dies for a noble cause. Materialist, a person with whom money or gain is the most important consideration. Matricide, murderer of one's own mother. Matrimony, the state of being married. Maturity, time at which a bill of exchange becomes due. Maxim, an established principle of practical wisdom. Mayor, chairman of a city. Council, elected by the councillor. Mediation, acts of third party relating to settling of a dispute between two contending parties. Medicine, everything which is to be applied for the purpose of healing whether externally or internally. Memorandum, a note recording the particulars of an event. Mercenary, a soldier who fights for the sake of money. Merger, acquisition of one firm by another so that they become one unit. Meticulous, one who is very particular about a small detail. Migration, movement from one country to another. Minerals, all substances found under the earth obtained by mining and containing inorganic substances. Minor, a person below the age of 18. Minute, note provides a record of proceedings. Misanthrope, a hater of mankind. Misappropriation, dishonest appropriation of another's property. Miscarriage, failure in administration of justice. Abortion. Misogynist, misogynist, a hater of marriages. Misogynist, misogynist, a person who hates womankind is misogynist. Mistress, a woman who without marriage lives as a wife. Molestation, act the tendency of which is in general injure or envy, intended to injure or envy the complainant. Monarchy, the system of government by a single ruler, is monarchy. Monastery, place of living monks. Monument, title deeds and other evidence relating to title to land. Monument, title deeds and other evidence relating to title to land. Monogamy, the custom of marrying and having only one wife at a time. Monopoly, market structure with only a single seller of commodity or service. Moot, an assembly of members of an inn of court at which points of law are argued. Moratorium, unauthorized period of delay in performing of obligation. Example, settling a debt. Mortgage, the disposition of an estate or land or other property by debtor or creator as security to debt with proviso that it shall be returned on payment of debt within certain period. Mortuary, a place where dead bodies are kept before postmortem. Mother, female parent. Motion, a sound proposal made in a meeting. Movable, term generally applied to personal as opposed to real property or immovable property. Mutiny, an offense of collective insubordination, collective defiance or disregard of authority or refusal to obey authority.